Welcome back to Mac Talks Football, and what a crazy day of the Premier League football. It was the final day, and with so much to play for, so much twist and turn, it continued to happen. And finally, after all the games have been played, the league is done. 38 games are completed. West Ham, unfortunately, despite winning 3-0 against Leeds United, ended up getting relegated. And unfortunately, as an Arsenal fan, I'm gonna say Spurs winning that game against Everton 1-0 and staying in the Premier League. History being made by Bournemouth for the first time in their history. They are going to be playing European football. They are going to play Europa League next year, along with Sunderland. Out of everybody, nobody would have expected. There was an outside chance. I said in the prediction video as well that up until Fulham at 13, so many teams were in it to play European football, and Sunderland were one of them. But nobody would have expected Sunderland to do this, and but they have done it comprehensively, defeating Chelsea, finishing seventh in the league. First season returning the Premier League from the Championship, and they've qualified for Europe. They are going to play European football after 50 plus years in the Europa League yet again. I mean, a massive performance from everybody associated with Sunderland. Brighton, they are going back to Europe again. A Conference League. Fabian Husler again, a great job by him at Brighton. What he has achieved, taking them to Europe yet again. They are going to be in the Conference League. So great night for them. Chelsea. A disastrous campaign for Chelsea, ending in yet another defeat at the last game of the season, losing to Sunderland. No European football for them. They are just going to play Premier League football next season, which, if I'm being very honest with you, could be a blessing in disguise for them. A new manager coming in, and he's going to have a time to pick out his squad and whatnot. It's going to be an interesting summer for Chelsea. As I said before, Burnley and Wolves were already relegated. Everton, interesting season, could not do the job on the last day of the season. Could have gotten a win, and maybe there was a chance to qualify for European football. It did not work out. Arsenal, the champions, winning on the final day against Crystal Palace 2-1. Quite a entertaining game, if I'm being very honest with you. I said there were going to be so many changes because both of the teams don't have anything to play for and would have had their eyes on the final, their respective finals. Palace in the Conference League final, their main concentration is going to be towards that. On the 2 days later, they are going to play that Conference League final. Arsenal playing the Champions League final, but they got a crown Premier League champions tonight. After 22 years. Again, seeing Mikel Arteta, Martin Odegaard lift that trophy. I mean, I cannot tell you in words how happy I am. I waited this for my entire life, and finally, I've seen it. I've seen them do it, so I'm over the moon with that. Legends leaving the Premier League. Bernardo Silva from Manchester City, amazing a servant for Manchester City. Mohamed Salah, I mean, there are no words to describe the player that he is and what he has done for Liverpool as well. Andy Robertson himself, he's going to leave Liverpool as well. Pep Guardiola leaving the Premier League. 10 years, the era of Pep Guardiola in Premier League is over as well. Oliver Glasner leaving Crystal Palace. Andy Areola leaving Bournemouth. So many departures, from different clubs in different terms as well. So it ended up being quite, as I said, there were so many twists and turns, especially in that European race, with different teams winning and different teams losing and goals and everything. But it ended up being a really entertaining and fun final day of the season. And unfortunately, I would say for West Ham, that they, as I say, they end up getting relegated. They played really good football today. A 3-0 win against Leeds United. I said in my prediction video as well that if West Ham do go down, that their result against Newcastle last week would be the one that really sends them down, because I thought out of like maybe the last 2-3 months that they have played, I think last week's performance was the worst one that West Ham put out, and I was really surprised with that performance, and that sort of became their final nail in the coffin. Spurs, I mean, as much as I would have loved for them to go down, being an Arsenal fan, I mean, the way that De Zerbi has come in, and again, I said when he came in, I think he's a great manager, but I thought he did not have enough time. He has proven me wrong. He has kept Spurs in the Premier League, so that's a good thing for the Premier League. Again, I'm going to say, as much as I don't like it, but for the Premier League to have Spurs in the competition is a big thing. So it's going to be interesting to see now what De Zerbi does with Spurs. With the summer that he's going to have, he can bring his own players, and it will be interesting to see how they operate next season. We're going to have so many big teams not playing the not playing European football. Sorry, Spurs are not going to be there. Chelsea are not going to be there. At the start of the season, if you would have said that Bournemouth, Sunderland, and Brighton are going to finish in European places, I would have said, you're crazy, but that's what has happened. Maybe Brighton, people would have agreed that, okay, maybe they can qualify for the Conference League, but Bournemouth and Sunderland for Europa League, nobody would have expected. Aston Villa, I mean, what a great end to the season for them, top for defeating Manchester City on the final day of the season at the heart. Ollie Watkins with a great performance there, becoming the Europa League champions. Everybody, I felt, they were going to be so, what's the word I want to use? So pissed, from a parting and everything, that they were not really going to turn up and they were going to get thrashed. I went for a 3-0 win for Manchester City, but again, they're proven me wrong. I think the celebrations have continued and they are going to continue, defeating Pep Guardiola in his last game ever as a manager of Manchester City. A great night for Villa as well. Overall, I think, as I said, it was a very entertaining, a very fun day of a Premier League of football all over the all over the country. Different entertaining results. We had goal, you had everything, and this is the type of final that you would want. If I'm being very honest with you, and despite everybody saying that it was a boring Premier League, and nobody really enjoyed it, if I'm being very honest with you. And again, I understand this, and people are going to say I'm biased. I know majority of these people say this because Arsenal have ended up becoming the champions, but let's be very honest. You had a title race that went right to the wire. Just 1 week before the final game of the season, we found out the champions. You had three new teams that nobody thought that are going to be playing in European, are going to be in Europe. They are going to be playing European football next season, in Bournemouth, in Sunderland, and Brighton. You had two, massive club like Chelsea not qualifying for Europe. You had another massive club, part of a big six, almost getting relegated in Spurs. You have three English teams in European finals. Aston Villa have already won it. Palace and Arsenal are in their respective Premier League, European finals as well. And the margin of points between the champions and the teams qualifying for the Champions League and Europe and the teams getting relegated, it's not that much. So it was much, it was not like a Centurion and two teams running away with it. It was a very closely contested Premier League, and I thought it was a highly competitive Premier League as well. And I really don't care what people say, but for me, I think it was a very entertaining league, and you got to see that even on the final day, there was so much to play for teams almost qualifying for the Champions League, to the Europa League, to the Conference League, to teams almost getting relegated. Everything was there to be played for, and it ended up being a really a great day. I'm going to do my team of the season, and I'm going to react to the predictions that I made at the start of the season as well, but those are going to come in the coming years. But for tonight, it was great end to the Premier League. Congratulations to Bournemouth, Sunderland, Brighton, Spurs as well. Unfortunately, that all of them qualify for the Champions League, and Spurs are going to be in the Premier League next season. And of course, congratulations to Arsenal for becoming the Premier League champions. That's from me in this video. Let me know what you guys thought of the entirety of the day and the season in the comment section below. Like the video, share it as well, click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. Until next time, bye bye.